What political, social, cultural factors led to the creation of this issue? The why of our problem is complex, but our research will show that we encountered 5 issues that we found to be the most pressing reasons for why incarceration is utilized and accepted over rehabilitation. Those are the war on drugs, the disease model of drug addiction, the safety model of policing, the disproportionate amount of minorities incarcerated for drug offenses, and the lack of help for people that are in the system and need rehabilitation services, as 7 to 17% of people who qualify for the DSM criteria for drug dependence or abuse receive treatment in jail or prison. We will explore these features in more depth in the following literature reviews, but these 5 things really jump-started the social workers in us and made us passionate about the topic. What remedies or solutions, if any, currently exist for the issue? As of now, our research has shown that there are 2 viable options for addressing the fact that there are too many people locked up for drug offenses, and the vast majority of those locked up do not get rehabilitation services they need. Our research will show that the drug courts and prison jail rehabilitation services are those 2 options, and why they are insufficient. Why are the remedies insufficient to address the issue? After speaking to the community stakeholders, we realized that the target of our proposal needed to be a smaller county jail system due to the politically charged nature of our issue. To that end, we focused on the Mecosta County Jail, and at this time, they do not have a drug court or rehabilitation system in place. So there are no remedies in Mecosta County to address the issue. In places where there are drug courts and rehabilitation services, the issue is that the system is punitive. The programs are run by probation officers, and if one drug test is missed due to a lack of transportation because the offender does not have a car or money to get to the test, they go back to jail. Once they get out, they still have the same issues with transportation, so they get caught up in a revolving cycle of imprisonment and release. Transportation is just one barrier. Dr. Sotheby explained that offenders in this situation have to walk a tightrope and follow all of the rules or they go back to jail. They could have health issues, mental health issues, transportation issues, family issues, or just everyday life problems. There is no grace for these people, and the probation officers deciding the offender's fate impose a punitive rule that requires complete adherence to the rules of the program, or they get more jail time, and they are kicked out of the program, and they lose their reduced sentence, which is the whole point of the program. The system requires 2 to 3 years to complete and comes with a full page with 3 columns of requirements that the offender has to check off to reduce their sentence. Even after completion of the program, they still have a criminal record. The system is designed to help anyone with an addiction issue, but Dr. Sotheby said it is only really successful for first-time offenders, and even that success is limited due to barriers associated with completion of the program. Her example described a grandmother with glaucoma that was arrested for possession of marijuana. She went into the drug court system and the rehabilitation program. She was unable to afford both her medication and transportation to her drug test, so she was incarcerated for violating the rules of her program when she chose medication. In addition, the cost of the offender can be $3,000 to $13,000 out of pocket for the whole experience. The grandma that can't afford her medication will not be able to afford those costs, which will also lead to her incarceration due to noncompliance with the program. The same story illustrates the next issue, which is the treatment, quote unquote. The treatment is a list of things to check off. It's a bunch of boxes that they have to complete, and that's the treatment. That's it. This woman used the illegal drug to medicate her glaucoma. Does she really need rehabilitation services for something that she needs to survive? The answer is an emphatic no. So the woman with no previous record is now in the revolving system of incarceration and release until she fails another drug test because she needs the illegal drug for a medical problem. This is not a treatment modality. It is a punitive list of hoops that one must jump through. Drug courts and rehabilitation services do not deal with the person. They deal with the perceived problem. And if the system is not informed about the person, they cannot expect positive results from someone that is incapable of following through with the program or does not need the program. It's a one-size-fits-all exercise in futility. For 4, what is the magnitude of expenditures on the current issue? The short answer is insufficient. There are no expenditures in Mecosta County for incarcerated rehabilitation, and drug courts require the offenders to pay out of pocket for services. Again, not available in Mecosta County. But in California, for instance, they spend an average of $106,131 per inmate per year, with only $3,652 of those dollars allocated towards rehabilitation services.